Hi there, I am back and we are continuing with our 1-point perspective cityscape from a worm's eye view. If you will notice, I added in my windows for this building right here, my first one, and I started it before we left. I just wanted to show you how in the distant buildings, or in the distant floors, the ones that are higher off of the ground, the floors appear smaller. As they get closer and closer to the ground, they get larger and larger. So there was no specific measurement. I just eyeballed it to figure out which one, or as I drew them, how each one would get a little bit larger than the previous one. Starting at the top of the building seemed to work better. Because then as I'm coming down, if the bottom floor ends up going off the page, it's okay. So even though we can see that this floor is not larger than that one, it's just because it goes off of the page or out of the picture plane. Now, I told you before we broke that I would be drawing several lines around the composition, all going to that single vanishing point. So now what I need to do, oops, I'm sorry, I need to zoom out. Now what I need to do is I need to draw the tops of some of these buildings. Again, I'm not going to have you watch every single moment, but I do want you to see how you can go about creating interesting tops of buildings. If I look at this area right here, I had drawn in these lines, and I think I actually added one more when the camera was off. So let me just start by sketching in, again, a line that's going to be parallel to the picture plane. So my ruler is going straight up and down, again, parallel to my picture plane. And I'm going to make it a little bit taller. I'm going to draw the top of a building here, here, and here. Now, if you want to do fancy buildings, you might want to measure so that they're all exactly the same. I'm not that worried about it, but if you are, we certainly can take your ruler, measure. This happens to be about 1/2 inch. This happens to be about 1/4 inch, and this is back to 1/2 inch. So the center column seems to be a little bit thinner, which is fine with me. I'm totally okay with that. So because I want this building to look three-dimensional, right now it's very flat. I want to make this column come in. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to lay it down parallel to the picture plane, going straight across. And I'm going to give it the edge that I would see if it were above the horizon line, because there's my vanishing point. So above the horizon line, I would see that. And then I'm going to draw a line from the vanishing point to the back of the building. I'll straighten that up a little bit. Very good. Okay, so now I have a curve, not a curve, but a corner. So this part of the building is curved. I'm going to do the same thing on this part, but this one's below the horizon line. So I'm going to draw a line parallel to the picture plane. If we were drawing a box, this would be the back of the box. And then I'm going to draw a line to the vanishing point. And I'm going to erase my guidelines. And let me connect these. So I'm going to find that corner right there, and the edge of this one right here, and I'm going to connect them. Okay? So now this building has a little bit of a fancy edge. It's got the two columns on the outside edge, the center column in the middle. Then maybe I want to put some windows in here. Again, they're going to be narrow because they're far away from the viewer. My ruler is parallel to the picture plane, and as I draw them, they're going to get larger and larger as they get towards that bottom floor. So there's another building. I'll probably put some windows in here too, but I hope you're getting the idea, the sense of the space that it's making. I'm going to put a building in up here with these lines that I drew. Let me make the top of the building right about here. By the way, when you erase all of this, this is going to become sky. So you could have a night sky, you could have a sunrise. It's going to be totally up to you. But the top of this building must be parallel to the picture plane. I'm going to bring it up, slide it down, making sure that it stays parallel. And then I'm going to draw the back. One floor down. And that's my next building. What you're going to do is you're going to draw several buildings all around the composition, and then you're going to be able to fill in the blank spaces with other high-rise buildings. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to finish up my windows. I'm going to draw in some windows here, and then I'm going to sketch in some buildings over here. But let me pause now so you can take a moment and sketch out a couple of your buildings before coming back and joining me. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in a few minutes.